Hey everyone, I hope you're well. So I'm doing a video today as it's the new moon in Taurus on the 4th of May. I'm just going to pull some cards and see what they say about the energy that we're coming into. I've been shown that we're coming into land, so I was shown a plane landing and I was told that it's the end. We're coming out of the momentum that we've been going through. So things were moving very fast, especially this month just gone by. But they're saying that we're now at the start of the end of the momentum. Like I say, plane coming into land, and then I was shown two people getting out of the plane. So what's happening now? The momentum's over. Is we're coming into an energy of relationship. So I was shuffling these to start, and I've got the Six of Coins jumping out, which is about relationships in the physical world. So basically what we've been through is a lot of learning process over the past 12 years, they said just then. So 12 years of understanding ourselves better. These relationships, they're showing me, are led by the feminine energy. So they're very much guided by feminine energy rather than masculine energy. So the whole process that we've been through over the past 12 years as a collective was to re-establish the feminine energy, divine feminine energy, that is, as the like the leader, the not forerunner because that comes first, but the what's the word for it? Like priority energy. So all relationships coming from that energy rather than the masculine. Let's see what the cards are going to say. So this means that start of new relationships, basically, guided by feminine energy. Let's see. So we've got a Five of Cups coming out, the Star, Eight of Swords, Seven of Swords, Three of Cups, King of Coins, Nine of Coins, Ten of Swords, Ace of Cups. Underneath we've got Justice, number 11. I'll put one down on all the others. So I'll start with the Six of Coins. As you know, they're saying the middle, so I'm going to go to the middle. Eight of Coins, Six of Cups, Six of Swords, Chariot, Eight of Wands, Three of Coins, Judgment, Devil, Nine of Wands, Eight of Cups, and the Emperor. And then I'm going to have, I think I'm just going to put one more down on, I think I want one more in the middle. I want one more here. And we're going to have one more down there, Ace of Wands. Sorry, so that's Five of Swords, Three of Wands, Ace of Wands, and one more there, Transformation, Death. Right, so basically what they're saying is, let me just get these out in the middle, because that's the heart of the matter. Three of Cups. Three of Cups is the highest energy you can get, so that's the Trinity. Three of Cups. It's a masculine and feminine, divine masculine and feminine energies, and it's also God energy. So it's the energy of all things that are surface around those two energies combining. So liberation, completeness, freedom, and happiness, joy. So we've got that at the heart of the matter. So that's being created by what we've been through by the last 12 years, through the last 12 years. On top of that, we've got work, which is the Eight of Coins. That's about work in the physical world. And Five of Swords, which is about battle between dark and light. So this is basically what we've been through in the last 12 years. We've been coming into a higher energy through rebalancing internally, dark and light energy, which is masculine and feminine energy. It's been, showing up in the physical world as well, as it always will do, through situations presenting themselves all around this, getting us into some higher energy so that we can then function from a higher energy. The higher energy that's created, of course, is the feminine energy, because that's the light and not the dark. The dark is the masculine. So, like I say, that's kind of where we're at. Underneath that, we've got Justice, we've got the Six of Cups, and we've got the Three of Wands. So again, we've got a 3 on there, Three of Wands, which is also about creation. Wands are creative, and movement as well. Justice is 11. It's the highest timeline you can get, practically, because it's the awakening timeline. It's number 11, and it's justice again. So it's about rebalancing masculine and feminine energy, but coming out right, because justice is always about rightness. So we've got that underlying the creation of the Three of Cups energy, which is the highest energy you can get through the work we've done in the physical world, which is rebalancing dark and light, which is masculine and feminine energy. And then Six of Cups is coming out on there as well. Six of Cups is about childlike innocence and reconciliation, and reconciliation. And there's another one, begins with R, and it's reunion. Thank you. So basically, it's also about relationship. It's about a masculine and feminine relationship, but it's about from the inner child. So these relationships that are coming in now we're coming into land, are about creating from the inner child, because we've got that Three of Wands on there. These threes are really symbolic, because the threes are really symbolic of the divine energy, because it is the masculine feminine energy, divine masculine feminine, and you can't have that without God being involved. So that's why it's always coming out as a 3, Trinity, Fleur de Lis, Triple Crown. It's all very symbolic of that. Highly destined, preordained, orchestrated, prophesized, promised land. When they show me the plane coming into land, they're talking about this promised land as well, which they've been talking about for a while. So this is landing now. But it's going to be a bit like Lost. I only ever watched that show once. It made me feel lost, even just watching it once, because it was so kind of like ungrounded, like the whole premise and the whole. I just found it. I couldn't watch it because it was too ungrounded. It didn't give me any sense of, like, I don't know. But what I'm saying is, like, this where we're landing, right? It's going to be a bit like Lost, the series, because it's going to be a totally new territory, totally new environment, totally new scenario, because we have never created from this space before. So we've never created from they're saying harmonized energy, but it's harmonized, but the feminine is in control. The feminine is in the lead. It's been created from the feminine energy, so it's been created from the inner child. So it is, in a sense, a very liberated relationship, liberated from all aspects of dark energy, all aspects of masculine control. So it will be created through a sense of joy and happiness and harmony, and be created through a sense of release, right? Releasing anything heavy that could hold you back from happiness and joy. So that's what this is all going to be about, coming in now. And it's going to be a really good thing. It's going to be really good for the masculine energy. So it's going to be really good for all of those incarnated who hold a great deal of masculine energy. It's going to be very, very good for a lot of men that have served in the army, men that have been through wars. It's going to be very, very good for men that have been working in any kind of lower energy, basically, where they might have experienced some kind of harm come to them, some kind of pain that's come to them through that energy. PTSD, this kind of thing, or any just kind of debilitating energy that's taken them away from their pure, the purity of their soul, their own connection to their own inner child, their own happiness and joy. It's going to be very, very good in that respect for incarnated, people who've incarnated to play that role of divine masculine. All right, so it's all about healing the divine masculine through what is being brought in now. And today is the start of it. So it's not like it's just going to happen today, but like I say, the plane is landing, and then we get out, and then we're in this promised land, and then we're getting out, and we're getting out one with the other. Okay, but the main energy that's getting out of the plane is the feminine energy. It's bigger, it's stronger, it's more capable. That's what I mean by in control, because it's not controlling, it's just more capable and experienced and wise, and it's more predominant. All right, so we've got that going on. I'm just going to take those cards out because I've got so many cards down here and not a lot of space, that I want to be able to see what's going on with the others. And I've read those now. It pretty much picked that up. Let's see what else we've got. All right, so where I've got here 6 of coins, and I've got the Emperor. This is still running. Yeah, this is about masculine energy coming forward. Emperor is masculine energy. 6 of coins is reaching out. So there's going to be offers put on the table, basically, around relationship for people now. People that have been single, they just said lonely. All right, so if you're someone out there who's been lonely for a long time, this is what's happening now. It's coming in for the divine, those holding divine feminine essence, who have been working on themselves for what might seem like an eternity to some of you. This is coming in now. All right, so it's been brought in. I'm not reading I can't even say those words. This is for everybody out there, right, who is who's working from the heart. Everybody who out there who's a sensitive. Everybody who out there is empathic. Everybody who is, working from true divine feminine energy, which is all about love, creativity, happiness, harmony, about letting go, relinquishing. Right, we're not talking about fake feminine energy, which is about grasping, greed, narcissism, controlling, lying, manipulating, fraudulent. All right, that's masculine disguised as feminine. We're talking about true feminine energy, which is about not holding anyone accountable for anything. All right, so you've got to understand as well that that's you. All right, and you've probably been through this process where you've worked through all those lower energies coming through you at some point and presenting themselves to you as an option, because that's what the transmuting of dark and light energy is about. And that's what about changing masculine energy into higher feminine energy for the feminine has been all about. It's about the process of witnessing what comes through yourself in terms of energy, and only through that process of transmutation, whatever you want to call it, doesn't really matter. Through that process, you come into an energy of clarity and purity, because you relinquish and you let go of all lower energies as you kind of signal. What's the word? You notice them as they come out of you, right? And you signpost them. And you're like, oh, I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to think like that. When all this stuff comes up, and then you see that and you witness it, and you decide you don't want that. So the work has been about letting go of that experience, basically. And with that comes the point where you're ready for this, because then you are the divine feminine. You've completed your own process in becoming a purified, harmonized feminine essence in existence, right? And when you do that, when that's happened, it means the masculine energy that's ready for its healing by being in relation to purified feminine energy will come forward. And that's where we're at, because the work's been done and we're landing, and we're all getting out the plane. And this is very good, like I say, for masculine energies, because they're the ones that need this. All right. Let's just say something else as well, because I know for a lot of people who've been through this experience, what we used to call a twin flame experience, it seemed like it was all about work on the self, right? For the self. It's like, oh, I'm like, I cry all the time about this person, and I'm upset because I'm not in a relationship, and I feel like really unloved, and I feel abandoned. And it was all very based around the self, right? And as the process worked through, which is this process that you go through of witnessing what comes up through you emotionally and experiencing the darker, lower emotions and deciding, because remember, we've been through choice point already. So that was the deciding point of like, I don't want to be this person that holds a grudge, that blames other people, that feels like a victim, that, basically blames the man I want to be with, whatever man that is, and that could just be man in general, blames the man I want to be with for how I'm feeling, because whilst you were that, you weren't ready for it, for him or her, whoever holds the masculine energy, whilst you're still in that place of blame. So that process of purification, you might have thought you were like healing yourself, because you had to be healed, or because you had to get better, right? Or you had to let go of like him. But actually, the process that you've been through has been about getting you ready to be the person that can be with the masculine energy that the masculine energy needs to be with. All right, so it's for them. It was all for them as well. Do you see what I mean? It's a process of exchange. It's a service. That's why there's always three involved, because this is destined, preordained by God, or higher energy, love, whatever you want to call it, that this will happen, because this is what's going to heal the human race. All right, so we've got that there. And then let's see something else. What have we got here? Right, so this is in the past of the past. What we've got here is letting go of in the Six of Swords and the Five of Cups, which is about what you don't get emotionally from what you want emotionally. The Five of Cups is like a contradiction, and it's a stalemate, but it's a stalemate like energetically until you're ready, right? And the stalemate is your heart will not get what it needs until your heart is ready to give what is needed, right? Because there's two involved, and it's always going to be there's two cups standing in that card. So it's about you being ready yourself for what is needed by the other person. So like I said, it was never about you getting ready for you to be better. It's about you getting ready to be better for the other person. And this cannot be and will not be and is not until everything's been released that's around the lower energy. And you think again that that's about yourself, and it isn't. It's about, because you're rebalancing divine masculine feminine energies inside of you. So you're a whole, right? You are a whole of those two energies when you're balanced completely. So you're working for two on the inside as well and working for two on the outside, but it's guided by three because it's divine and therefore God is involved. We'll come to that again in a minute. So there's that one there, and that's the past of the past. Here we've got also in the past, we've got healing in the star, and we've got the Eight of Swords, and that's something that won't be let go of in this deck. So it's in a kind of imprisonment until the healing's done, basically. That's why it's, you're not allowed off the roundabout. You don't finish the journey until the journey's finished. It's no like getting out. There's no like saying, I don't want this anymore. In fact, when you say, I don't want this anymore, that's actually part of the process. And that's, you come to the end of the chain of that as well. You come to the end of the chain of all the disruptive thoughts and feelings within yourself around your own process, and that's your healing. When you're no longer in that state, you're also fully healed from your own process, when you're no longer saying, I don't want to feel like this, basically. And that can only come about through time, because sooner or later you are so over it and so healed that you're like, you don't even need to say that anymore because it's just like, I'm not even going down that road, basically. But it's something that it's a process, right, that you're not in control of. It's in control of you. That's why it seems not easy at times. Got that there. And then over here we've got Destiny and the Judgment card, and we've got Eight of Wands, and it's coming in. So this is like in the what's coming in right now. We've got Past of the Past, bit more recent past, and we've got Just Leaving. So this is a landing, basically. Destiny and Eight of Wands. Destiny's coming in, and what's destined is those who've rebalanced internally and become a harmonised feminine energy in one unit as one person are now getting out of the plane. It's landing and they're getting out. So it's not going to be everybody watching, but if you're watching and it's resonating, then it's you, basically. You'll know if you feel this way. You'll know if you're at this point where you're like, when the thoughts and the feelings come up around how you've, been healing, you're just saying to yourself, I don't even want to think this anymore. And you're not even going there. Oh, I don't even want to feel this anymore. But it's not like causing a problem if you not feel it. You're just not feeling it because you're just so clear of it. So you'll know if that's you or not. Right, and then we've got here, this is what is also what's coming in. So it's a quick switch from the Destiny coming in to this, which is Nine of Wands and Seven of Swords. Nine of Wands is the ending of the dark night of the soul, basically. Seven of Swords is a fear. Nine of Wands is also healing as well, because it's a Divine Masculine card. So it's kind of the dark night of the soul of the Divine Masculine and the ending of that. And the fear is actually the dark night of the soul. So it's not just the feminine energy that clears, the masculine does as well, but the masculine clears fear of their own kind, basically. Different kind of fear. Probably fear around relationship is what I'm feeling. Because of this to be happening now and the landing to be occurring means that is over with. We're saying it's over with. It's saying their ending is over with, their ending of the fear, right? Their fear of relationship, basically. So I've got that there. Let's go back to this because it's in the stands between what's going to come next. Oops, excuse me. Right. So what we've got there, right, we've got the ending of the masculine's dark night of the soul, the ending of the fear, and in the middle we've got this higher energy in the Three of Cups. We've also got the battle between the dark and the light, which is a battle that goes on in between us, inside us all, masculine as well, because they've got to reharmonise, and the work that needs to be done. But with the masculine energy, it's a lot more like being at war, because they're masculine energy. So it's a lot more like they're at war inside themselves with something, like things that they can't let go of, around themes of persecution and responsibility, their own self-judgment as well, and feelings of not being good enough, that kind of stuff from a masculine perspective. So it's like not being enough of a protector, not being wise enough, not being up to the job, right? Because the work's there as well, not being up to the job. It's a lot of, like the masculine angle is always they want to take care of things, they want to be in control, they want to be the breadwinner, they want to be able to serve and protect the feminine energy. But what they've had to go through is a process of relinquishing all of that, right? And letting go of that need to be that answer, because where this is going to be coming up, like led by a feminine aspect, it means they don't need to be like that. So it's like they're letting go of part of themselves to enter into these relationships where they can take a different role in the relationship. It's like very much like the old masculine energy, right? The predominant masculine energy always wanted to be in charge, have the last say, be seen as the most intelligent and wise, making all the decisions, and well, look where that got us, basically. So, and it's not talking about men and women, because you've got to think as well, it's masculine energy, so it can present through anybody. Because if, for example, you look at Margaret Thatcher, that was masculine energy, not feminine energy. So, but predominantly it's in men, or was, not now, because now we're blurring the edges and everything's crossing over. So what do I want to say? So basically, where this is going now is like them taking a step back, basically, and acknowledging within themselves, well, I'm maybe not the one that needs to be making the decisions, because maybe I'm not the one that does know everything, and maybe I'm not always the most intelligent one, and maybe, I need to allow the feminine to make some decisions and kind of lead the way and guide the process of the relationship, make decisions in the relationship, make decisions about things that we're going to be doing in our lives, if they've got a better idea about it. So, and accept that, right, and not want to stomp all over it and squish it out, because in the past that's what they would have done. They would have become overbearing, like relentlessly overbearing, and just stomp on the feminine and overrule, and it can't be done anymore, because it's not the way that humanity is going, and it's not the way that the world is going, and it's not the way that we're going to exist anymore. But but where that's happening now, and we're entering, well, we're landing, right, and we're coming out of that plane, what it means is that it's going to be very lost for a time, because this is a new process. It's a new way of experiencing the world and the physical existence. It's a new way of experiencing that hasn't been done before. So it's not something that we've got the rules on or the guidebook about, and it's going to have to be created right from the beginning. So it's going to be, I wouldn't say trial and error, because I don't think there's going to be much error, but it's going to be more kind of a loose process, right? So it's going to be, it's going to feel like you don't know the answers to the questions, right? So it's going to be like, if you're having one of these relationships, a divine masculine feminine relationship, it's going to be like you'll be going into it blind. So you're going to be creating in the moment with it. So we've done a lot of this over the past 12 years, which has been about coming into understanding that everything, that what's important is what happens in the moment, right? And staying in the moment, and not having expectations, and not having like ideas about how the future should be, and not wanting to have it all like written down beforehand. It's like that, like the just to like use some kind of a metaphor or something. I think that's the word for it. Like a prenup, like, which is a really masculine thing. A prenup is like, okay, so we're going to get married, but I want it all written down on paper that if it goes wrong, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, this is going to happen. It's really, really controlling, and it's a really masculine thing, right? A prenup, because it's basically saying there's no love involved. You're not getting married for love. It's not, because love can't be organised like that. Love is an energy, freedom, not in forgiveness, right? And trust, basically. Trust. So no trust with a prenup. Is there? None at all. So, but prenup is like, it's like trying to like consider the future before the future's happened. So it's taking you away from the moment, right? But what's going to happen with these relationships? It's all about trust. So it's going to be about what happens in the moment, and there's not going to be any kind of prenups with any of this, either written down, verbal, spoken, or whatever. Nothing like that. It's going to be like, let's see how it goes, one moment to the next. We're creating this relationship through trust, through how I am with you in this moment and how you are with me in this moment is how this relationship will be. So there's going to be none of that kind of like you said you'd do this and you haven't done this, and da 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 da. Or, you know, you promised me you were going to be like this, and da 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 da, and all that, like, lower vibrational bollocks, basically, to put finer point on it. It's going to be just how you are in that moment, and how you are in that moment will be giving out an energy of forgiveness, love, trust, respect, allowance, all right, for mistakes to be made, because that is really what love is about as well, is about allowing somebody to be whoever they are and to love them no matter what. So that means whatever mistake they might make, right? Because this experience that you've had around yourself as divine feminine, reorganizing your energy from the inside so that you've let go of all this negativity around your own self, brings you into a space where you're able to do that for somebody else. That was your transmutation, right? But the divine masculine have gone through a different kind of transmutation. They've gone through a transmutation of having to let go of everything they berate themselves about as well. But they've also had to let go of the control. Now their trust is in putting in your hands how you will treat them. Because the old paradigm, masculine and feminine energy, which was not divine, was the man saying that he was going to do all this, the man saying he was the cleverest one, the man saying, I'm going to do, you know, I'm going to make the decisions, call the shots. And then it would be like it all going to hell and going wrong. Either they go bankrupt, or they, you know, or they've made a wrong decision, they buy the wrong thing, or it's, I don't know, whatever. And the woman going, you said you do this, and da 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 da, right? So the way it's changing is they're going to give up what they thought was their control, but they're going to do that with a sense of trust that you're not going to go, you said you'd do that. You see what I mean? So it's like that's what the new ballpark is looking like. So we've got coming in here, we've got King of Coins, which is masculine energy made manifest, and we've got mastery. So this is a masculine process, divine masculine process, now coming into mastery of itself. It can only truly come into mastery once it comes into relationship with divine feminine energy, because until then it's not mastered fully. It's only been mastering its own process. That own process is coming to an end in the Nine of Wands, letting go of the fear. And then we've got creating through divine process, the Three of Cups, which is divine energy combined, it's a three, and then masculine mastery coming in there. And we've got Eight of Cups, and Eight of Cups signifies going back to the heart. All right, now that means they're going back to love. So this means new chances to make relationships. All right, so it doesn't necessarily mean going back to somebody, but it does mean going back to love. It means going back to working from the heart. So it's people who have not been in a relationship, both male and female, masculine and feminine, gay, straight, whatever, deciding it's time to try love again, basically, going back to their own hearts. And this is going to be presented. We've got transformation as well in the death. So this is not like, I'm not saying go out and date, and I'm not saying go out on dating sites, because that's karmic. All that stuff is karmic. What I'm saying is it's coming in. All right, so it just is going to present itself to people now. You may even know who this is for you. It might be someone completely unexpected. Divine masculine energy is held by a lot of people. Divine feminine energy is held by a lot of people. Where we used to talk about the artist formerly known as Twin Flame, it's not necessarily that person, although it might be, because divine masculine energy is held by a lot of people. It's an energy, all right? It's not like just signed off in one person. It can be held in another and another and another. It can transmute as well into another. So don't worry about it, and don't get all like stressed about it, because if you feel really strongly that that's represented for you in one other person, then you could possibly quite likely be right. I'm not saying it's going to suddenly change into another person, but what I'm saying is it's held by many. These energies are held by many, not just a few, because the energies are not about romance. The energies about healing, and the energies about healing the universal consciousness, right? The whole planet, the whole energy grid. That's what it's really about. So it's, you know, it's not about romance at all. So that's kind of to look at it from that angle, like, oh, but that's my twin flame, and it's only that one person. That's, well, you're coming from the, that's, if you think that, then you're on a romance program. You're not actually on a twin flame program. Twin flame is about God, about higher energy, and about healing the whole planet, and about letting go, and about your responsibility towards all humans, your work, your divine work, basically, your responsibility towards that. I said that years ago as well. So, right now, down here, so let's do a bit of prediction. we got down here, we've got what's coming in, right? We've got 3 of coins creating in the physical world, and we've got 9 of coins, which is feminine energy. So this is divine feminine, and that is divine feminine complete, and that's the creation. Again, it's the divine creation, which is what's coming in, because we've landed, we're getting out the plane. There might be 2 people, but it's creating from the point of God. It's creating through divine essence, a relationship, the feminine in the lead. So you can see there, what's going to be created is coming from the feminine energy, creating it and taking the lead. And this is less is more. When you create from this energy, it's less, not more. So it's a kind of relationship you create, and you actually don't know what's going to happen in it. There's no kind of like, right, we're going to date for 6 months, and then you're going to put a ring on my finger, and then we're going to get married, and then we're going to have a big wedding, and then we're going to invite our friends, and then if you don't do that, I'm going to shout at you. Do you know? It's this is creating in the moment. It's creating from a sense of less is more. Less is more. So it's going to be like, you don't know where the relationship's going. You don't know what to call each other, you know, but you're not going to worry about it. And like, the relationship is not existing around whether I call that my boyfriend or my girlfriend. The relationship just is what it is in every single moment. And are you nice to each other in every single moment? And are you kind to each other? And do you forgive each other before something's even happened? You know, and do you give off the energy of forgiveness? Do you give off the energy of like not putting pressure on someone? Do you give off the energy of not wanting them to feel, you know, do you give off the energy of wanting them to feel better about themselves? You know, that's what it's about creating there. That's true feminine energy, when that energy is given off. Okay, so we've got that coming in, and then we've also got the devil, and we've got the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is about an ending of a process as well. It's ending around the mind, so it's really like ending a lot of disharmony that goes on in the mind. So that's a good thing that we've got that coming in there. And the devil, which is what's drawn to you as well. So this whole process, which has been individual in a masculine, divine masculine, and individual in a divine feminine, coming to fruition, are the 2 energies coming together and a letting go of everything that caused disharmony. So it's saying it there as well, right? It's coming together. This, I just want to say, right, with this, what's happening and what they're showing me about this landing of the plane, this is a start. Like I say, this could be someone completely unexpected to you. It could be somebody that you've just met, that you're getting to know. Somebody who just gives off this energy, because the divine masculine energy is an energy, and it's an energy really tied to the inner child. It's an energy tied to a lot of, it's like little boy energy, right? So it's like wanting to be helpful and wanting to be kind and it's still wanting to protect you, but not in an overbearing way, right? It's wanting to do things for you, look after you, take care of you in a masculine way, right? So this is what you might find is around you in somebody. And again, relationship. And because this is work, it's divine work, it's not going to be romantic necessarily. It might be for some, but not for everybody, because everybody is going to create this in a different way. And it might be long term or it might not, right? So I'm not saying, again, because I'm not doing, this is not an energy of like, okay, we're going to date for 6 months and get married and then we're going to da 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 da. right? This is an energy of what's done in the moment. So this could be any type of relationship with any kind of masculine energy that's around you, right? But it will be something that creates divine energy and puts it out there. And it could be something miraculous. It could be something that transmutes. We've got transmuting because you're going back to the heart, where you find yourself in your heart when you never expected to, with somebody that you never expected to be in your heart with. So we could be looking at, a man who's 80 years old and a woman who's 20 years old getting together, things like that. We could be looking at somebody who's been determinedly gay for their whole life, who meets somebody of the opposite sex, and suddenly they're transformed, because it's all about transformation. Do you see what I mean? It could be anything. It could be somebody who's been straight all their lives and suddenly meets someone of the same sex and they're transformed. And that's who they create it with. Because what we're doing here is we're breaking down barriers. That's what the new paradigm is about. It's about breaking down all the barriers to love, right? Could be somebody that you don't find physically attractive at all, but they give off the divine masculine energy, and you find yourself uncontrollably drawn to them. Something like that. Because it's all serving a purpose energetically, right? To take us into an energy where love conquers all. True love, real love, unconditional love, not romance. Okay, and then at the end here we've got the Ace of Cups and we've got the Ace of Wands, creating unconditional love, and we've got the Chariot, masculine and feminine energy combined. So that is it. So basically we're all transforming now through relationship. We're going to transform into a completely purified and harmonized version of masculine and feminine energy, equal in both people, the same. So these relationships are going to be completely equal, right, in terms of what's given out, completely equal in terms of what's felt, and completely equal. There's no harm is done in that, you see. No harm is done. And that is what unconditional love is. No harm is done. And we're creating an Ace of Wands. So that's what I wanted to say. That's what's happening now. Personally speaking, good news is, because I've just felt like this fast, furious energy this month. It's been absolute craziness. I'm really glad it's going to be slowing down, because it's keeping up with it. It's been a nightmare for me. And it's been really weird. I don't know if anyone else experienced this, but I've gone through a long, long time now of like this ascension process and being guided to like rest, rest. And I've been having, I went through a stage of having like all these like really weird migrainey things where I couldn't move all day and was just vomiting. It's all stopped, and so it's just been non-stop for me for the past month. It's like I've not had a day of rest. I've not had one of those headaches taking me out. It's been like every day I've been doing stuff, and it's been unusual, because I've not had to. I've not experienced that for a really long time, ever. I don't think. So I'm quite glad that's coming to an end. And what's next is it's unknown really, but I know it's there. I know it's coming. It's here. Actually, for me, it's here already, but it's not what I expected, and it's not. It's just unknown. It's just unknown. Everything's unknown. I'll just pull a few more, see if there's anything else I want to say. So it's about go with the flow still, as it always is. Go with the flow. Don't worry. Lighten up. Enjoy yourself. Don't get stressed. Don't let the fear suck you in. Anything that's trying to make you feel fearful. This is also a time of conquering all fears, so there's going to be opportunities come up around that for you to see through the matrix and see that it's just something to not be scared of after all, whatever that might be. Because we all get scared of things that aren't necessary to get scared about. And some of them can be, really particular to you, really personal, and some of it you don't even realise it's fear. So you've got to look at everything that's going on and say, well, hang on, why do I feel that? Oh, that's fear. That's what I'm feeling. Because sometimes you don't even know it's fear. You think it's just normal, and you think, oh, you know, I'm right to feel that way about something, whereas really it's fear coming up. So you need to like look at everything and ask yourself, what is that feeling I've got? Is that a good feeling? Is it a bad feeling? Do I like feeling like that? Is it necessary to feel like that? Or is it just fear? And if it's just fear, you can let go of it because it's coming through the matrix and it's not real. So let go of it and smile and stop worrying. Anything else? Let's have a couple of cards for anything else. Anything else, please? Page of Swords. Lessons, messages. Knight of Coins. Healing. King of Cups. Masculine energy going with the flow. Well, I know what they're going to say now. Six of Swords, let go. Eight of Coins, work. Queen of Coins, stability. Chariot, masculine and feminine energy. Divine masculine and feminine. Judgment, destiny. Page of Coins. Messages again. Lessons in the physical world. Knight of Wands, energy moving through. Queen of Cups. Go with the flow. So, you know, just take it easy on yourself, basically, with what's coming in. Don't go rushing, jumping to conclusions about anything, right? Don't start to try to read things and look past the present moment, basically, because there's no point doing that. Because it's a point that we're transmuting what's coming in. What was coming in over here, right? And the other cards was death, transmutation. Things are not going to be what they seem a lot of the time. So, like I'm saying, what's coming to you now, you're drawing to yourself, right? In terms of relationship, you're drawing to yourself for the experience. You see, this is something else here now, right? What you draw into yourself in terms of this relationship, these relationships, for the experience. So, like I say, these things might not be long term, and they could be. These relationships might not be long term. They could be. It's almost like precursor, a precursor to something else, which is getting you ready. So, very much a testing ground. Testing out the new location, the new waters, right? Testing out the new terrain. So we're getting out of a plane, we're landed. It's about relationship. And it's a bit like Lost. And because it's going to be a bit like Lost, it might mean that you enter into one relationship and it's a testing ground. And then you exit that. So don't worry about it. Like whatever is coming in that you feel drawn to or is presenting itself to you. Because like I say, this is going to present. It's not going to be you going out and finding it because it's not karmic. It's for the divines out there. So it's going to be presenting. It's for you to go with the flow around. It's going to serve a purpose for divine, masculine and feminine energy itself. Alright. So I'll leave it at that. And lots of love. I shall be back in a few days. Probably, hopefully. I'll do some sun sign readings. And for May, I'll do one video again with them all in. Because it's easier and it's quicker. Alright, see you soon. Lots of love. Bye.